So who would have thought it? Aston Villa taking on Celtic in the Champions League. My two favourite teams going head to head. So who am I going to support? Let's talk about it. So before we start, be sure to give the channel a like and a sub if you haven't already. And if you're just watching the video for the sake of it, thank you for tuning in. So a little bit of context. I'm an Aston Villa fan, I'm a Celtic fan. Both teams are in the Champions League, and sure enough, they have been drawn to play each other. Only once for the way this new format is structured. A lot of people getting confused by it. I can understand why. But Aston Villa will be welcoming Celtic to Villa Park on the 29th of January 2025 with an 8 p.m. kickoff. How about that? Celtic actually get to play European football after Christmas. So I'm going to speak about how I feel about the draw as a Villa fan and how I feel about the draw as a Celtic fan. And I'll try and answer the question of who I should support. For a Villa fan, I'm quite chuffed with the draw that we've got. It's one of the relatively easier groups. Now, I'm not saying teams like Borussia Dortmund and Young Boys are going to be pushovers. Far from it. It's Europe's elite competition for a reason. All I'm saying is it could have been a lot worse. Unai Emery's a good manager with proven European pedigree. He had this in the Conference League semi-finals last year, which I never expected us to get to. A lot of fans thought we should have won it. I was just glad to be there. But overall, I'm quite chuffed. As a Celtic fan, I am more cautious. We always seem to do better when we're in a group of death because our backs are up against the wall, and at least if we go down fighting. When it's a group where the fans think that we've maybe got a chance, a little bit of complacency plays in, and we end up getting absolutely humiliated. There's a run with Celtic in European football. They go in, they get their asses handed to them, they go home, usually with a large sum of money. And Brendan Rodgers is not a good manager in Europe for Celtic or even when he was managing Liverpool. And he had top quality stars then. So I'm a lot more cautious as a Celtic fan, but any team that comes to Parkhead on a European night knows it's going to be a tricky task. And it's going to be the same for any team that visits Villa Park, which is one of my teams in Celtic Football Club. Which leads me to the question, who am I going to support? I don't know who to support. I'm just going to have to wait until the big day comes and go with my heart. It's a cop-out answer. This is a totally unprecedented situation for me. Most people support more than one club. They'll have a team of their home country and then maybe other teams that they like further afield. In my case, I'm a Villa fan and have been since I was 6 years old. And then when I was 12 years old, I became a Celtic fan. So while loyalty should put me towards the side of the villains, being Scottish and supporting a Scottish club in Europe also ties me with that as well. So it makes the waters a little bit murkier. And I like both teams for the same reasons. They've got good ethos behind them. The fans always take the club to their heart. And it just has that feel that you can't really describe to anybody else. I'm going to try and just enjoy the game for what it is, because this may not happen again in my lifetime. My two favourite teams playing each other on the grandest stage of European football. If you even told me that 10 years ago, I would have thought you were nuts. So I'm going to soak in the occasion. I'm going to enjoy it because it's going to be a moment in time that I may never live again. My heart would prefer a draw, but we'll see what happens on the day. I'll probably do a video about it. I know there's a few Villa fans and a few Celtic fans out there, and some of them do support both of these teams. So let me know what you think. How did you feel when the draw was made? Did you think only our luck? So up the Villa and hail, hail.